Welcome to being Sharon Gibson's podcast, PSG.
Hello, BSG fighters. Welcome to Being Sharon Gibson's podcast. This is season 6, episode 3, featuring Seyram Tordzro, a journalist. As intended, I'm going to transform your mind into a strong and positive mind. Before I dive into today's topic, I'd like all of you to know that my TikTok and YouTube community are different from my podcast community, so check out the videos on my platforms. Welcome, Seyram. How are you doing?
I'm doing excellent. Yourself?
I'm doing well. I'm just calm. It's just a hot Saturday afternoon. Can you tell my audience more about yourself?
Once again, I'm Seyram Tordzro. I'm a journalist and I have been practicing for at least 3 years now. Currently, I'm in Germany doing a program, German News Media House.
Okay,
So,
great that we will be discussing today act of communicating. And before we dive into today's topic, I will be sharing 2 top rules for success by Steve Wozniak, co-founder of Apple. He said, strive for perfection and take it one step at a time. So without further ado, let's dive into today's topic. So Sarah, what are your thoughts on think before you speak?
I think this basically means that before you communicate something, you should take into consideration the factors that will make this communication effective. And because if you don't, after communicating something, factors are not around and the message is not gotten,
Yeah.
then you haven't communicated. So basically, being mindful of the things around communication when trying to convey something.
That's true. But you know, there are times where you're just like very excited to get a message across. You're filled with emotions and you're just talking and just talking. Like, how do you control that before you speak? It's so hard in those moments to think before you speak.
Yes. Sometimes, yeah, there are those occasions you are overjoyed.
Mm-hmm.
But again, a good communicator always consider the situation. Take the people who are receiving this communication into consideration, which is not about yourself.
That's deep.
You need to also take into consideration the timing. Basically, just not about you being extremely excited and want to share something.
Yeah, like this is the first time I'm seeing communicating in this manner. Every time it's more like I think of it from a selfish standpoint, and it's like it's what I want to say. But then again, what I'm getting from you is okay, how's the other person receiving it? Because you
Yeah.
want the person to understand what you're trying to say. Like this is deep. I
Yeah.
love this. So in saying that, how can we be more intentional about how we convey our message?
How we can do that, knowing the purpose of this kind of communication. What is your purpose? If you know your purpose, you know how to communicate very well.
Yeah.
But to also be a good communicator or an intentional communicator,
Yeah.
it also means that you have this emotional intelligence.
Yes. Yeah.
It's actually hard to always control the really exciting moment. But as a good communicator or someone who aspires to be a great communicator, you always have to just a little bit suppress that excitement to be able to communicate very well.
And what are some of the benefits of effective communication?
When you communicate effectively well, you give clarity to what you are conveying. Basically, nothing unchecked or unresolved. So those are the receiving ends always know what
You're talking about. That's so true. But you know, sometimes we get so nervous that we cannot express what we want to say. We can't really convey the message. So it's like we fumble and all the words are in our mouth, and it's like we just want to get it out because it's like your brain cannot even comprehend the situation in order for you to gather words and effectively communicate to somebody. And it's just like you can have like, you know, a brain block, or you can black out, and before you realize, or panic, and you just be speaking in a way that nobody will be able to understand you.
So one thing I found growing up in the field of media that is that you spend time knowing the kind of person you are. Because knowing the kind of person you are would kind of give you an idea about how you are able to communicate.
Yes.
There are people who communicate slowly,
Yes.
and when you are extremely excited, but you are a slow speaker,
Yes.
and you just burst out saying something, that means you are veering from who you are. Your communication at that point is not going to be done effectively. You're going to be speaking like gibberish.
Yeah, that's
So,
true.
so spending time to know yourself, and of course, there are health factors. Sometimes health factors associated with communication.
Mm.
Easier. Apart from that, you need to know yourself.
You're so right. You're right because I think I'm a slow communicator.
Yeah.
So whenever I try to speak fast, I burn out like a lot of energy, and
Yeah.
I'm not able to convey the message in my
Yeah.
head. Oh, I speak fast, but no, I'm not. I don't speak fast. I'm not a fast speaker. I get really
Yeah.
nervous when I'm speaking fast. I'm not able
Yeah.
to articulate
Yeah.
very well whenever I'm speaking fast. And
Yeah.
you just saying this right now has really drawn attention to the fact that indeed I'm a slow speaker, because when I am able to speak the way I'm speaking right now, it's easier for me to just get the message across. And
Yeah.
I've seen people different from who I am and who speak on a faster pace, and they're able to convey the message like very well. They convey the message,
Yeah.
with so much energy and everything. And sometimes
Yeah.
I'm like, why can't I just do both? But with
Yeah.
with everything you said, I think I'm just going to accept who I am, and I
Yeah.
just love it. I love how you've put it.
Yeah.
It's very simple to comprehend.
After getting to know the type of communicator that you are, it is
Yeah.
also extremely relevant that you spend time bettering yourself at that line of communication. Because you can
Yes.
be, so it's not just about knowing yourself, but it's also about spending time developing yourself in that area of your communication.
Oh, wow. We're going to jump right straight into the comfort break question, but thank you so much for that, Gem. So, the comfort break question for today is: would you rather have a low internet or always forget your passwords?
That's a difficult one.
I think I
That's
know which one I'll choose already, but I want you to answer first.
For me. It's let's see. Okay, I think I would rather choose to have a low internet. Forgetting your password is extremely dangerous.
Okay, for me, I would choose forget password. Like, I rather forget my password than have a slow internet.
Okay, so,
Because with the
yeah.
slow internet, see, I literally changed my network because of slow internet. I was
Hmm.
frustrated. I'm such a 21st century baby. Like, I'm an internet baby. You will
Yeah.
frustrate the hell out of me with slow internet. I can be very patient about anything in my life, but when it
Yeah.
comes to internet, please don't mess me up. Like, it just it,
Yeah.
it,
Yeah.
it, it kills me.
Yeah. But there is also the case that, let's say you forget your password for your phone. How are you going to get the access to the internet then?
Oh, that's a deep one. I didn't think about that. But then again, as I said, I'm a 21st century baby, so I use phones like iPhone and so Face ID. You're right. You're right. I didn't think about phones. And even with passwords, you can write it down if you're very forgetful. But you can't fix internet if it's slow.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
But that's an interesting answer. So back to our questions. Is silence a way to communicate?
Hmm. There are
Yes.
moments that wouldn't have to say anything, but there are moments that silence is also not an option.
That's true. Like, you have to speak up, yeah. Because people go like, "Oh, silence is powerful." But sometimes if you don't say anything, people might think that they can ride all over you. People might think that you're tolerating what they're throwing at you. So silence is good in some situations, but there's a duality
Yeah.
to life. So
Yeah.
it's always about finding the balance between
Yeah.
things. Like, even with silence, you need to know when to be silent and when to speak up. These days, I'm like, okay, Sharon, just be silent about this, be silent about that. But like, the bad bitch in me wants to speak, but I'm like, oh, just be calm. They
Yeah.
don't deserve your
Yeah. Yeah.
energy. But I'm like, speak up. And I'm like, so yeah, that's how I put the question there. So the last question before the life lesson: what would you tell anyone who keeps struggling to effectively get a message across?
But this is not to say that anyone who is struggling with communication has issue. But I think sometimes people try to check up in the hospital, and yeah, practice makes perfect. Learning, relearning, and unlearning. That is built over time.
Mm,
Continue exploring different modes of communication to be a better one,
mm.
to appeal to different kinds of audiences at the
That's so
same time.
true. That's beautiful. Beautifully said. And to me, it's language, right? And
Yeah.
Language is a lifetime journey of learning. You never
Yeah.
stop learning the English language or whatever language you're studying. So it's just like, okay, you have to keep improving. Like the way I speak right now, this is not how I was speaking years ago.
Yeah.
I've improved my vocabulary each time when I see something on social media or in a book or wherever. I try to like research, okay, how can I use this in my everyday life? Some
Yeah.
words are very difficult for me to pronounce, like the word sinusoidal curve. It was so hard for me to pronounce for weeks. But what I did was every single week I will pronounce it. I'll forget how to pronounce it, but I'll go back
Yeah.
to Google and then I'll listen to it over and over again. And I've used
Yeah.
that in some of my videos on TikTok, to just explain the definition of life.
I myself too had like I haven't been like this. I mean, I used
Yeah.
to be afraid of communication. I used to be,
Yes.
and usually, if this were years ago that we had to record this thing, I would have been fumbling because
Ah, yes.
I used to feel a lot about when I have to communicate something, and it takes conscious effort.
That's
It's
true.
conscious effort. Do you really
That's
want it? Do you really want to be better?
I agree with you. I agree with you. Like you don't just get perfect. And one of the things I remind myself is that Sharon, the way you're communicating today can
Yeah.
always improve. Can
Yeah.
always improve. Like don't give up on
Yeah.
yourself. Like you can
You can
always
always be better.
improve. You can
Yeah.
always be better. Oh, that's so beautiful. I love this. So what life lesson do you live by?
Be considerate. Take the situations of people into consideration.
That's a gem. Like you've given us so many gems in this short episode that can transform the lives of people. I really love that. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate this. Thank you, Seyram. Before we go, I'm going to go over the top rule for success by Steve Wozniak, co-founder of Apple. He said, strive for perfection and take it one step at a time. And in my words, there's no need to rush your life. Imagine you have 7 more decades ahead of you. Why are you rushing to have it all now? You can space out your goals one step at a time. Little drops of water makes a mighty ocean. Don't think about the end goal. Just think about what you can do each day to become what you want to be or achieve what you want to achieve. So kindly leave a 5-star review if you enjoyed this episode. Thank you very much, BSG Fighters. I love you as much as you love yourself. Until next episode, bye. Bye, Sarah.
Bye.